Mayweather. I wanted to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no?
For years, Floyd Mayweather built an untouchable 50-0 legacy, a monument to defensive brilliance and unmatched ring IQ. But lurking in the shadows of that perfection lies another story, the story of Keith "One Time" Thurman. Every fighter has a breaking point, a moment when frustration transforms into fury. For Thurman, this wasn't just about landing a fight. It was about exposing what he believed to be the truth, that Mayweather was actively avoiding the one man who could truly threaten his throne. Even today, long after Floyd's final professional bell, the Mayweather effect still echoes, with legends from Manny Pacquiao to Roy Jones Jr. still dreaming of sharing the ring with him once more.
You want to fight? Come on. I mean, I ain't tripping. You ain't got to troll me. Come see me. That's who I am. I don't do talk well.
You think there's a possibility, Roy? Like, we might get this exhibition?
Ain't gonna be no exhibition. I want a real. Ain't no sense being an exhibition. What we gonna play for? We both fight for real. What we playing for? Wasn't no exhibition. We didn't make it real. Exhibition for people playing. We ain't playing.
It happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Make no mistake, a fight with Floyd Mayweather isn't just another boxing match. It's a spectacle, a global event, a golden lottery ticket known across the sport as the Mayweather Payday. An entire generation of fighters lined up for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But there was a catch. Getting chosen was everything, and most never were. But interview. That's where the story of Keith "One Time" Thurman truly begins. Because while most fighters begged for a payday, Thurman demanded a legacy fight. Today, he's remembered as the ultimate what-if of Mayweather's career, the man many believe was unfairly denied his chance. At his peak, Thurman was an undefeated power-punching champion, a dangerous puzzle no one had yet solved. And according to him, that's exactly why Floyd never tried to solve it.
Mayweather. I wanted to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no? I always wanted to punch that man in the face. You know? That's actually why I never shook his hand. Never shook his hand, because my satisfaction isn't in meeting you. It's in, having the fight. And after the fight, we can shake hands. After the fight, I can give Floyd all the respect. I never got the fight. Never gave him any real respect. You know what I mean? I actually do respect Floyd, but face to face, I can never give him respect because he never put respect on me.
Did he ever ask you, hey Keith, why you talk to me? Why you don't? Did Floyd ever approach you and ask?
Nah, we just was in the lobby one time at the Intercontinental here, and he actually walked up to me, and he was cordial. He was cool and everything, but then we was just getting to talking, and it just, it is what it is. He had like some...
Early 2010s, the welterweight division was Mayweather's kingdom. He was the pay-per-view emperor, the final boss that every ambitious fighter dreamed of conquering. While Floyd cashed in 9-figure checks against the sport's biggest names, a storm was forming in Clearwater, Florida. That storm had a name: Keith Thurman.
I've titled myself a knockout artist ever since I was 14 years old, and I was knocking out grown men with 16-ounce gloves and headgears, So I tell people, ever since then, I've been driving people like a bad habit, I love being a power puncher. My first favorite fighter of all time was Mike Tyson. It was my goal to have more knockouts than Mike Tyson in my professional career. It's just little goals. As a kid growing up. So I started off holding it down with 8 consecutive first round KOs and TKOs here at the a la carte pavilion out in Tampa, Florida. And it took me 8 knockouts before I chose to give myself a nickname. And it was because all of those knockouts occurred in the first round, and because of the devastating power, and because of the story that my father once told me, that I chose to take upon the name Keith One Time.
Named One Time for his one-punch knockout power, Thurman was a terrifying mix of speed, strength, and skill. He wasn't just winning, he was dismantling his opponents one by one. His rise through the ranks was fueled by hunger, confidence, and the burning belief that he was destined to challenge the sport's most untouchable icon.
Maybe some things y'all don't agree with that I say. I assure you, up until, and y'all know Keith got gas issues, but until that gas tank start to run on E, he's a good fight against anybody.
Come on,
You
man.
don't want to hear it.
No. If you think about Keith was the guy, man.
Yeah.
Keith just ain't fighting. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think just the rust and everything's catching up with Keith.
Yeah.
Hey, supposedly we might get Keith this year.
About before the end of the year.
Is you heard that's confirmed?
I mean, y'all talk to my boy every now and then.
Okay, shout out to Keith Thurman.
By 2014, with an undefeated record and a trail of knockouts behind him, Thurman wasn't just another contender. He was a problem. He didn't see Mayweather as a legend to admire, but as a target to conquer. And unlike others waiting for a golden invitation, Thurman refused to wait. He declared war. In fiery interviews throughout 2014 and 2015, he demanded the fight with an intensity that bordered on defiance.
That's right, baby. You know, Floyd is supposed to be TBE. And I want to fight the best. I want to fight the man. You know, it ain't like Floyd's gonna knock me out. When has Floyd knocked anybody out in the past several years? Huh? So if anybody should be scared, it should be him. If anything I'm gonna get a great learning experience in my career. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to destroying Mr. Floyd Money Mayweather. I have a motto. This is my personal motto. It's called burn money. Burn money. 2015, we getting ready to burn money.
While others spoke about Mayweather in quiet, respectful tones, Thurman looked straight into the camera and called him out by name. "Do you want to fight?" he challenged. "Be honest with me. If you're going to leave me alone, just say it." It wasn't trash talk. It was a direct challenge from one undefeated fighter to another.
You know, I'm a young, strong champion, Floyd. Come get it. I'm undefeated like you, baby. Come take my O, baby. Come take my O. I'm ready. We'll go back to camp right now. We'll go right back to camp, baby. You see my six-pack? I'm going to go run laps tomorrow. It is what it is, man. Outside of Floyd, there's a lot of great champions in the welterweight division, and they know who to call. His name is Al Heyman. Call Al Heyman, baby. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to other opportunities. I beat this fighter, I can beat any fighter.
Thurman wasn't chasing a paycheck. He wanted to prove supremacy. The tension hit its peak when he boldly declared, "If anybody should be scared, it's him." The boxing world took notice. Here was a prime, undefeated, power-punching champion accusing the pound-for-pound king of running scared. Thurman even blasted Floyd's choice of opponents, like Andre Berto, calling them safe, calculated picks designed to protect his record. But behind those fiery sound bites was a deeper story, one that exposed the politics running boxing's most powerful empire.
To get the fight, and then they politically took the position away from me by elevating him up to the super champion, which made it so that he was no longer obligated to any mandatory. And now I'm currently the WBA super champion of the world. So, you know, to me, the real purpose of holding the super champion, once when I studied the industry and understood politically what this belt and what that belt means, to me, the real purpose of having the super champ is to do things like this and have a unification bout. Because when a fighter has two belts, he's supposed to have two mandatories. Now that means that you don't really get to pick the fight that you want anymore, because now you're getting this mandatory thrown upon you from this federation, you got this mandatory thrown on you from another federation, and then it's less for you to do what you want to do for your career. So by the WBA creating that super title, that allowed Floyd to really only focus on one mandatory, which was the WBC, if he wants to take it or not, and it gave him way more room to move his career the way that he wanted to move it. And because he was able to do that, one thing that he was not presented with, one thing that nobody had to get in his face and ask him about was, how do you feel about Keith one-time Thurman, who is your #1 mandatory challenger in the WBA? You know, as soon as he fought Maidana and got that title, I'm the mandatory. He schedules a rematch, so there's no point in talking about it. He wins again. Now The question is, how do you feel about your mandate?
Later revealed that after becoming the WBA's mandatory challenger, he was next in line for a shot at Mayweather's welterweight crown. But something strange happened. Instead of granting him the fight, the WBA mysteriously elevated Mayweather to super champion status, while Thurman was promoted to regular champion.
And that's when Floyd Mayweather ends up fighting Marcos Maidana. To a very close fight. Maidana fought a tough fight. He fought a tough fight. I don't even know how it got to be like that because I saw him get outboxed easily by Devin Alexander at his first fight at 147. But somehow, some way, maybe Floyd just underestimated the wild bull of a man that Maidana was at the time. And so the fight was so entertaining. Floyd did a rematch. That time, he clearly outboxed Maidana. He didn't lay on the ropes. He didn't let so many big overhand rights come in. And it was a clear showing that Floyd got the second fight. That was only 2 of his rematches throughout his whole career, 50-0. 2 rematches. So now, where is Floyd? He is the reigning welterweight WBA champion of the world. Where was I? I was taking fights and I was maintaining position as the #1 contender. And there was a phone call. There's a phone call I never got. And it was to fight Floyd. Somehow, never got the phone call. He said, "Hey, Keith, how are you doing today?" I said, "I'm good, my man. What would you like to talk about?" He says, "Can you please tell me, how does it feel to be the WBA welterweight champion of the world? For you have been elevated." I said, "Elevated? What do you mean?" He said, "You're the champion of the world. I learned this on a phone call."